go. Okay. We're getting closer. And we're live. Maybe in full HD and things. Probably not. I'm running with it regardless, though. Okay. Back to business. I forgot that camera doesn't work. This camera works. So, tonight, after all of the whatever that was, we're gonna just chat some. I would love to hear from you guys what's going on, and then I do want to. I have some ideas. Basically, we'll kind of get going with it. But welcome back. Oh, of course, it's already tanking. No, I must have terrible upload speed. This is unfortunate. I think that's my problem. Because I generally, like when I upload videos, it's really good. Right now, it's not great. But now it's saying 70, maybe it's my streams, it's all stream setting, that's what it is. Or a computer, my computer might not be able to handle this, which is unfortunate. Okay. It's gonna be delayed. Or it's gonna be choppy. Sorry, this is just how it's gonna be tonight. So, anyways, tonight we're gonna be chatting about mead things in general. As you guys know, this is the mead channel. This is a mead channel, so we get to chat about all this stuff. Yeah, I'm just gonna let it go. What happens happens. That is what I'm leaving it at right now. I will do more research in the future and hopefully figure out the settings situation, because I thought I had it set, but OBS is a weird thing. Whenever you stream through YouTube Studio, like on your iPhone or iPad, like it just does it for you. You don't have to think. And I guess I've got some weird setting. But to start off, oh sorry, that's loud. To start off tonight, I do want to highlight, ready for this? Y'all, this is going to be so fancy. Boom! Social media links. If you would like to follow me on any social media or things, they are all there above my head. So I have multiple things. I have the Instagram page, which is of course Man-Made Mead. Then I have it is the Discord, which is Man-Made Meaders, and I believe there's a link down in the description. And then I also have couple Facebook groups. So if you want to be part of any of those things, feel free to join us, because I think that'd be a lot of fun. So this is way better, is it? On my YouTube Studio, it says poor. Or no, wait, now it's excellent. What is going on? Okay, don't touch it. Just leave it. I'm just gonna leave it alone. Anyways, check out the social media links if you would like to, do that. If it continues to freak out, I'm sorry. So, those are it. That was my fancy thing. One of my fanciest things for tonight. I spent just a few minutes putting that. I stole that. The idea from Doing the Most, who does that all the time on his streams. He has his own little overlays, and they're really cool. So, thanks, BC. Anyways, speaking of BC, tonight I am drinking. If you watched his most recent video, not most recent, the one before, the Tepache video, I am drinking his spicy Tepache. So I've poured a glass of it, and it looks real nice. Look at that. Go up the green screen. There we go. I have to get away from the green screen. So that's the color of it. It's pretty nice. I am enjoying a good glass of it, and it's really not. I like the spiciness level. It's a good mix of pretty hot, but also enjoyable. I'm also trying not to touch the computer too much, because I'm finding that it shakes the whole table. Anyways, so that's that. What's going on with you guys? I would love to hear about some things you are doing and some things you are looking forward to doing with your own mead so far this year. And I'll check the audio here every once in a while, but I think it's okay for now. I see Durzo, hello. Javier, hello. Grim Reaper's here. Ooh, ominous. Kevin says is here. Frank Scott is here. Inaka Adventure is here. Hello. I'm gonna butcher this. Gia Patel is also here. Welcome, you guys. I'm super glad to have you here. Inaka says, I think I have a stuck mead that's around 10%. It had potential to go to 14, but now it's cold. I'm sorry, I'm struggling to read. But it's cold now, and it's gone clear. Think it'll be safe to rack off than bottle after a few weeks? I would definitely let it age long enough to know for sure that the fermentation has stopped. You do not want to bottle that puppy too soon, because you will end up with a bottle bomb, and that will be real rough. So make sure you just wait at least a few, 2 to 3 weeks. That'd be helpful for you. Javier says cleaning bottles right now. Dude, I was doing that yesterday. And actually it wasn't yesterday, it was Wednesday night. When was it? Anyways, I was cleaning bottles and watching something, so I understand that. I've been there recently. Justin says apple pie recipe was best for me. Ooh, I love the apple pie recipe. I don't know if you made mine or what you made, but I definitely enjoyed that one. So that is up there on the thing to make again. I'll make that again in the future. Let's see. Grim Reaper says started a banana mead December 27th. Starting gravity was 1.102, now at 1.006. Very nice. Did you just do them all in the primary? Like, I know that's one way you can throw bananas in. You can just, well, there's lots of ways to do it, but I haven't really experimented enough to say one is better than the other. Is the stream okay on you guys' side? I watched this little preview, and it's not amazing, but it is something. So, right, I'll get off the lees and bulk age for a month and check gravity. Yeah, just be careful. My story for this is I made it's a video coming out at some point in the future. I don't know. It's a rose hydromel. And speaking of which, I don't know what I did with that video. Anyways, I didn't put anything to stabilize it, and it had settled out. It was 1.000. I racked it over a bunch, like probably 3 or 4 times, and it was mega clear. However, I added some sugar, I added more honey to back sweeten, and what ended up happening was that small amount of yeast in there kind of picked up again and started to go crazy. So there could be a chance that your yeast somehow wake back up and go to town again, but there's also a good chance that they won't. So I would not be too worried about it. I don't know. I would just wait. Anyways, have you ever made a clove mead? Not a strict just clove mead. I've used clove in meads, and it works well. I mean, it's an interesting flavor. It's definitely got its own struggles, but it's still good. Feel so lucky today. Frank says, I started a few batches on the 22nd. It's been almost 4 weeks now, and they're still in the primary, both 1 gallon, and one has around 3 pounds of clover, the other has 3 pounds of wildflower. Getting impatient, for sure. Yeah, but the good thing is you've started multiple batches, so you've got lots of things to think about. In a way, mead making is kind of opposite of babysitting. In babysitting, you don't want to have 2 or 3 babies to worry about, but in mead making, you want to have like 20, so you're not necessarily bored. So that's kind of my take on it, at least. Cut into 1-inch chunks. Grim says cut into 1-inch chunks, split into 2 1/2 gallon jugs. Very nice. Let me know how that turns out. I'm curious. Have you ever seen the YouTube channel Yes Theory? You and Thomas look very similar. I've never seen that. I'll have to look it up at some point. Sounds interesting. Jerzo said, oh wait, yeah, Jerzo says currently aging 2 meads, a tart cherry and a tart cherry sizer. Ooh, those both sound really good. Personally, I love cloves in my meads, just really into that Christmassy cinnamon. Yeah, what's the spice now? I just bought some today, and now my brain, all this crazy YouTube nonsense trying to get this to work has killed my brain. It'll come back to me in a second. Anyways, it's a very Christmassy spice, so that's one that I plan on using more often, at least. There are a couple of things I'm going to add to the new Can It Be a Mead wheels, and I'm going to be revamping those soon. I have to give you reference for where I'm at with Can It Be a Mead. I just posted episode 4. I've finished episode 5. Episode 6 is currently aging on oak. I'll spoil that. And episode 7, I'm about to start episode 7 next week. I'm waiting on a big pail of honey. I ran out of my clover honey, and so I went ahead and ordered, because I buy in bulk at this point, I ordered a 60-pound pail of avocado blossom. So I'm definitely very excited to get that open and start using it. Also need to probably fix this, possibly. So that's kind of the timeline for Can It Be a Mead. There's a lot of it's just a long time for sure. What's the longest mead you have, aged mead you have? I still have some of my original ones I've made. I have a box up in the corner over here that's the 2020 box that I was intending to drink all of those meads in 2020. And those are about almost, oh, I guess they're about 3. Yeah, oh wow. They are over 3 years old now. So, I just didn't get around to drinking them. I'm kind of waiting, and you know, if I can be patient, I will. Is there a test to see if fermentation is still going on when you want to back sweeten without using potassium sorbate? You mean like if you just let a mead sit for a while and not put well, I guess an aged mead actually not being able to ferment anymore? I don't have a test like that. Generally, if a yeast are viable, they're going to kick back in and start going crazy. Part-time Bus, that's a fun name, says used mango puree and wildflower honey to make a mead. Does not taste good after a month and a half. I guess I'll let it sit. Is it dry? Let me know. I'm curious. If it's dry, you can bolster the honey character, at least, with more honey by back sweetening. You can also, of course, stabilize and add more mango puree, and that will bolster that taste too. So that's kind of something that I would consider. Spike Love says, I started my first Boche apple cider 2 weeks ago. I was worried at first. I overdid the Boche, but it's smelling yummy. Now I also snuck a taste, and it's going to be bomb. That sounds awesome. I haven't made a Boche cider. Wait, I kind of have. I've made the apple pie Boche. That's pretty much a Boche cider. Frank says, have you ever considered giving maple mead a try? I was shopping the other day, saw maple syrup, and consider the possibilities. I'm still new. So I have, well, in a way I've made an Acer Glen. That's what that's called. It's called an Acer Glen. And I actually have a test. I'm trying to finish it up soon. It is where I used maple-based things in a mead, and I kind of did a back and forth to see if I could make a specific recipe. Anyways, that's hard to explain, but I don't want to spoil the video too much. It'll be interesting when it comes out, but it's taking a little bit. Some mulling spices would be pretty good as well. I think I would definitely put some of that in there. Yeah, pretty much like you said, kind of wanted to age and dry and then back sweeten before bottling. Yeah, well, I'll put it this way. If you don't like dry meads, then most meads out of the primary, you're going to be like, this is gross. And that's just kind of how it is. Most meads are sweet anyways, so that's just something I have realized. The stream is working. Again, I'm not trying to touch it and break it. I'm trying to flip other screens. There we go. I I've arrived. I never got a notification it started. Oh, and I don't know. I'm just hoping that it does not break, because I am on something today. It is on something today, I should say. If you were just joining us, you missed the whole escapade of me starting the stream and exploding and everything. Yeah, just going crazy. So we started about 25 minutes late, which is fine. But it does mean that I'll have a little less time tonight than I had anticipated, but that's okay. So here's one thing I want to do, one thing on my list of things to do tonight. I want to, and I think I can get it to work. I might have to flip one thing. Let me adjust one setting. Give me one moment, y'all. We are going to watch part of my first mead video. Now, I want to play this mostly because it's just a weird, it's kind of a cool thing for me, but it also is fun to look back and see where I was started. So this video is from almost 3 years ago, and it is called Meet the Mead, or Mead Update, or something like that. So let me see if I can get it to work.
Hello, this is Man-Made Mead, and I am back.
Okay, I'm gonna back it up. Let's see, did I break it? Did I break the stream? Oh, we're good. I don't think I broke the stream yet. Okay, so, and the camera's back. Whoa! We're killing it. Okay, so this is, and I'm gonna turn off my music. There we go. So, this is called Current Meads Update video. It's from 3 years ago. It's quite old, and I just think it'll be interesting for us to watch it. So let me go and get started.
Video, of course. Today I'm updating
I can't hear the audio. That's exciting. So I'm just gonna let it play for a second.
So first things first, I have a list, because I use a numbering system, of all of my different meads that have going on. I have everything.
Okay, I'm gonna pause right there. This is my list that I use for most things now. So you see that it has, I really only had probably 12 meads at this point, but this is kind of how I do my whole list. I have, for my patrons, the people, if you want to support me, by the way, this is a great time to say, if you want to support me and help me continue to make mead videos and be able to afford making mead videos because they're expensive, I would suggest to hop on over to Patreon. Patreon is a great place to just support me in that regard, and you get access to my videos early. I actually posted on there today about a sampling video. Essentially, I'm sending bottles to some friends who are going to help me do a taste test, and they're through my Patreon. So if you want to support me there, I do some unique opportunities, and I have posted my grand master list of all now 142 mead recipes that I have. I think it's maybe like 130 because I have some beers and wines, but 100 plus mead recipes on there for them to see. Now I want to make sure that I can let them know that I care, but if you want to go check that out. So this is what the list looks like. Continuing, here we go.
In them, as well as
again, I can't hear
what stage they are on, and like third rack, first rack, all that stuff. So now to get to the mead, you've seen some of these if you watched some of my videos.
Look at all those. Look at the headspace.
Right now,
oh man, guys, look at that headspace. Okay, I will say, in defense of myself, these were not that old. These were probably a couple months. Like I said, I went crazy. I jumped in and I just went nuts when I first started brewing. So I did I think 12 within the first 3 months at least. You also can see the stains, the rings there. That is from some meads that were fermenting in there and ended up exploding a little bit, to say. So I had a little problem with that. Continuing.
Of 10 that I'm working on.
That was my first two big batches there.
This is the September monthly mead. Actually, this is 2 gallons. It's probably a little more in reality because it's a 3-gallon carboy. And then this is the 12.
What an old video.
Of orange blossom honey. It has apples in it.
So this is well, I don't remember exactly how many I had here, but the one on the right, that is a mango mead. Somebody was mentioning mango earlier, and who was it? Somebody, I can't remember now. Oh, Part-Time Bus. So that on there on the right is my mango mead, and it was puree, a traditional mead, and I threw puree in the secondary, and then I didn't do anything else with it. I didn't back sweeten. Part of my problem with my first few meads is I didn't back sweeten any of them. And not to say you had to back sweeten them, but the honey character is not as prominent as I would like. So I feel like I didn't exactly succeed in the way I wanted to, which is a bummer. But that's okay. Look at this. Average Joe, thank you for the compliment. I appreciate that. Wild Man, this was such a great idea. Copy the recipe chart. Do it. I mean, it's a pretty common thing. I wouldn't say that I was a creator of it by any means. Distilled mead. That's just. Oh man. So let's see. I don't think there's anything else exciting that happens here. Fast forwarding through real fast. Yeah, I just keep talking about him some. So that was, like, look at all these close-up shots. If you want to watch the whole video, I won't suscept you guys to that. But, oh, here's social media links. But that is from that first video, which is kind of fun. I think I can switch cameras now. Let's see. Oh, get rid of this one. Boom. Maybe. Hold on, y'all. We're going to try this. We're going to try and use the fancy camera. Can I make myself a little bigger? I kind of want to be, I wish I could like make myself this guy. I can't, I couldn't be able to rotate that. There, I'm that guy right there. I realized in my comment I didn't use puree, but I did use nectar. Oh, interesting. I haven't ever used nectar like that before. One of my things I would love to do, and let me know in the comments if you've done this, I would love to use honeycomb within a mead and use the raw side. Of course, I use raw and filtered honey as like a general thing, but it would be fun to use that honeycomb. I don't know if there'd be any difference. I don't think there would be. Is the stream still good for you guys? Have you noticed any explosions? Still says excellent on my side, and I think I jinxed myself. I don't have any wood anywhere, which is a bummer. Hopefully, I'm nervous now. So, if you're just joining us, we're just chatting. This is just a stream to say hey. And one of my goals, I don't know if you guys saw, in fact, I'm gonna pull up the video here in a moment. I am really wanting to help continue to grow the mead maker scene. So I'll say this, my goal is to do this in a couple different avenues, and I'm pulling up the video right now. It is from this, I sent a Google Form link out a little while ago, and it was to give you the option to send me a short video telling your mead story, telling me about your experience with mead making, and just kind of give me a brief overview of it. And it's short stuff, but I think it's a cool opportunity for us to share with one another kind of what's happening. And I would love to invite you guys to do that. So I'm pulling up the video right now, but I would love to know, sorry, I'm not looking at the chat, so if you're chatting with me, I'm so sorry. I'm gonna get right back to you guys. Amaro says, hey, what yeast would you recommend for a Boche? I really like the D47. Not a lot of people do, but I think it works well for this. Oh, is it getting choppy again? No. Okay, it looked like it was choppy for a second there. D47 is good. The 71B is also a decent yeast. I did a side-by-side test if you'd like to go see that of those two yeasts as just really trying to see which one would be better for a Boche specifically. And I found that the D47 honestly was a little better. Continuing other people, you spoke back sweetening. How much honey to start with, 1 pound or half a pound? I would definitely start with a 1/4 pound and then do it to taste. Figure out how sweet you like it, and then go from there, because you definitely don't want to just go by someone else's definition of sweetness. You might not like the sweetness level that I like. So just don't run with someone else's opinion. Add more. Start small, add more. Sorry, it's 2:49 in the morning. Oh, bollocks. I'm tempted to do an Egyptian-themed mead. Ooh, that sounds fun. 71B Boche. High gravity. Wait. It was kind of high gravity, and I want it to firm out. Yeah, the 71B, it gets up to 14, so it's high enough gravity. Okay, so here is, I just posted this earlier, but I am going to pull it up here. Let me do it right now. It's going to be so fancy. All ready for this?
Hello, this is...
Get rid of this one. Boom. Throw this one in. So we're going to watch this together. I'm going to back it up just a little bit and fix myself. This is what I want you to do, and I'll try and put the link down in the description for the form here in a second, but I would love for you guys to send me, I'm going to remove myself from this video here in a second because I want it to be just them, but I want you to send me your mead story. So this is kind of what I am looking for. Let me get rid of myself for a second. Boom. Here we go.
Hello, I'm Paula from Gapey's Grub, and my mead making story began with beekeeping. I currently have 4 beehives, 2 in the front yard and 2 in the backyard, and I joined a bee club where I learned how to make mead during one of our summer picnics.
Hi, I'm John.
And I'm Nina.
We share our love of mead here on YouTube.
It began when we made our first batch on our 3rd date.
Our series, Mead Hall, talks about commercial meads.
We also make experimental batches and started documenting our journey to becoming a meadery.
Come join us in our Mead Hall.
Martha here, and I'm coming to you from my kitchen. I am next to the clover mead that will not stop fermenting. It's been fermenting since right after Thanksgiving. It is the day before Christmas, and this is a story about patience.
So that's what I want you to do. I would love for you guys. I'm sorry if your ears exploded just then. I was not trying to explode them, and I realized a little bit too late that the audio from there was super loud. So, and I will do that right now. Let me find that Google form, and I will send you guys it. I'll put it somewhere so you can get to it. Here you go. It is in the description in the moment of this video. Now, well, it won't be because I will break something if I keep trying to do this. We're going to find out if I'll break it. Here we go. No, I'll get it. Fine. All right, it's in the description. If you would like to share your mead story, 15 to 30 second video, super simple. Just send it my way and say, yeah, hey, this is what I've done. This is what got me into mead making. And that'd be helpful. Boom. Oops, I break it. I broke it. Okay. Let's see, we're back to the chat. Let's see what we've got here. Got some chatting, nothing. If you, I like this is fun. This is the mead community that we need. If you are a brewer and you are not in a community like this, feel free to, join some of mine. Here are some of my social links. Boom. We're back. Okay, so these are some of my things, my social media links. There's there we go. This is the Instagram if you want to follow me there. And of course, I just post things randomly sometimes. Then there's the Discord. I'm backwards. This is the great place to be part of the community. So there are a lot of, I think we have almost 250 plus people in this group who just chat about mead making and ask questions, and it's like the safe spot to ask questions without getting regaled for things. And then right there is the Facebook. I have a Facebook group called the Man-Made Mead Makers, and that is another place to chat with people. And then the other one is the Man-Made Meadery, just my page, and I just post things, normally my videos on there. So that's kind of those are the social media links that I would push you to. Now, let's get back to that chat. So Frank says, so once COVID stops being a thing, have you considered the possibility of organizing a mead meet? I'd totally fly in. Man, I would love to do that. I was very excited to try and go to MeadCon back in February, almost March. It was a spring break, actually. I think the week before everything shut down. Week after, one of the two. Anyways, I was gonna go to MeadCon and get to do the same thing, and I was excited, but then obviously COVID happened. So I would love to do that. As far as organizing it, here in Oklahoma City, I guess we're the center of the US, but it also might be hard to like get people to get here because it's Oklahoma. So I would love to do it, but I have to do a little like research to figure out how to do it well, to be honest. I feel like if I hydrate my yeast with some Fermentation O, as well as put some must in, I can always go past the ABV listed on the yeast description. I don't know if that's necessarily true. I think it's dependent on how well you step feed the yeast. If you are just drowning them in honey water, there's a less likelihood that they're actually going to be as successful because they're just going to struggle more. But if you step feed them, then yeah, I think you could push yourself past that 14% that's listed on your packet. But that's just one thing. There's a MeadCon? There is a MeadCon. Someone in the chat, someone look up MeadCon real fast, because I'm afraid I'm gonna break something again if I try and do it. So look up MeadCon and then put it in our chat and then sign up for it. I don't know, I know this year, maybe this year they're doing it like virtually because COVID's still happening, but it seemed really interesting. There's a homebrew con, if you didn't know about that. There's also, of course, MeadCon. MeadCon is all mead related content. I think they had some other things that weren't, maybe some wine. Do you intend to participate in mead competition again? I would love to, honestly. And part of my, I don't really have a great excuse. I do a lot of video related stuff, and I find that I spend most of my time doing that. And so like getting away for a brief moment to like, I should be getting away more and doing competition things because it's a distraction from YouTube stuff. But honestly, I've been falling so far, like having so much fun with the YouTube stuff that it's fascinating. Average Joe, $5 or £5. Thank you so much. Keep on keeping on. I raise a glass to you and all in here. Thank you, Joe. That is Average Joe. I don't know if you're actually Joe, but cheers to you, my friend. I appreciate you big time. You guys, truly, I want to say this, truly, you are the reason I make mead. It's fun to make it and to drink it and to try it and to do so much, like just so much with it and to like change things. But the most fun thing to me is like getting to do this for you guys. It's to make videos that are entertaining and that honestly push the boundaries of mead making. I love it so much. I don't know if you guys see it, but my favorite series to do is the Mead Mythbusters series. And I'm continuing to do more of those. I've got a few of them in the works, and I'm finding that the mead myths never really run out. Wildman says, do you rehydrate all your yeast in Fermentation O and stagger nutrients on all your meads? I definitely do not. I am honestly a semi-lazy home brewer. One thing I end up doing a lot of the time is just throwing them all in the beginning and kind of saying good luck. And that's because, again, I'm lazy. If I were only doing 1 or 2 batches at a time, I would absolutely be doing more staggered nutrient schedule stuff. Now, the rehydration side, that's simple. I mean, I try to rehydrate my stuff as much as I can. Again, sometimes I get lazy and break that. But the actual staggered nutrient side is preferred if you can put the time in. Behind me right now, you guys, you don't really see the stuff right now, but I have just gallons and gallons and gallons of mead that are projects, and so it's hard for me to like remember exactly what's going on with everything. So I would love to do more staggered. I encourage you to do it. I'm a lazy brewer sometimes, just to be real. Frank is sending the MeadCon details. Thank you, Frank. Landon says, love the videos. 21 is going to be a great year. I agree. You know what? We're going to do great things. Not only, I think, beyond the mead community, but especially in the mead community. I have a feeling we're going to have a great year of growth. And it's because of you guys and because of just the continual progression of mead making. Average a community, I like. Exactly, I love a good community. Bruno, I see you're from Brazil, and I truly wish, I don't think I have a translate. I'm sorry, maybe, can I translate that? I can't, bummer. Okay. If someone knows how to translate that, help me out. Bruno, whatever you said, I don't know if it's a compliment or if you're just from Brazil, but thank you for being here. Andrew Harris says, make a garlic bread mead and cook with it. Cheers. Oh man. I just thought about putting that in the garlic in the Can It Be a Mead series. I could. Oh, that was. The wheels are turning, and they shouldn't be turning. They should have just hit the brakes and then game over. But here they are turning. Landon says, have you gotten your full taste and smell back? Yes, I did, thankfully. So when I posted the COVID video, that was about a week after I was in the bulk of it. So about 2 weeks after that, I had my full taste back. So I've had it back for probably a month and a half now, thankfully. I mean, I'm drinking some great mead and enjoying it. So that's what I'm doing. But I'm thankful for that. If you are dealing with COVID right now, I sympathize with you, and I hope that you are going to feel better and feel better quickly, or if you have a loved one that also has it. It's terrible, and I truly send my thoughts out to them because it's not fun. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge of me. I'm talking about Brazil, learned a lot from your videos. Man, I gotta go backwards a little bit. There we go. Bruno, thank you for your comment. I appreciate you so much, my friend. That is so kind of you, and I am happy to share my experience, what experience I have. Thank you for watching from Brazil. That's so crazy. It must be, what time is it in Brazil? Is it same time here? I don't know. That's terrible of me. As Quail, I think I said that right, says, do I need to pasteurize mead if not cooled? My question, what's your end goal? Do you want a sweeter mead? Do you want are you just trying to pasteurize just for the giggles? Like, what's your goal? I don't really know what you mean by if it's cold. Let's try and check this. So, one fun fact about this world, some of the music, all the music you're hearing back behind, it's real soft, you're probably not hearing a lot, is stuff that I've done. And I'm a musician, I don't know if you guys knew this, but I am putting out a video here in the next probably 2 or 3 weeks. Kind of, if you know anything about the lo-fi culture where people are like, it's the really chill music with the indie art looking stuff, I am doing something similar with that. With my own music, I created an album, and I'll make sure and share that with you guys, so if you want to listen to that. But I actually took and recorded a mead in fermentation, and it's pretty interesting. It's high quality video, and these like oranges and things like in fermentation, and it's pretty cool. So I'm excited to share that with you guys at some point, and hopefully that comes out soon. I'm still waiting on the album to actually go on to Spotify and those various things. Trying to go back. Average Joe said, I know 4 or 5 people personally who have had it. They all told me it was hell. Yeah, it's not fun. And like I said, I sympathize greatly with everybody who has it. And if you have the chance to get the vaccine, I highly recommend you do it. Bob says, howdy Bob, super glad you're here. Thomas says, I was wondering if hemp hearts mead would work. Do nuts work with mead? Pecan pie mead sounds really good. That definitely does sound good. I don't know about the hemp hearts, to be honest. I can't speak to it. I think it's worth a shot. I mean, any mead venture is worth a shot. Garlic bread might be a mead venture that could arguably be not worth a shot, but regardless, it would. You should give it a shot. Hemp hearts. And Landon, lo-fi is great. Yes, it is. That's probably one of my favorite styles. Honestly, I listen to it a lot. It's just like background noise, and that's what's super fun to me about it. It's like you just kind of get to sit back and not really think. It's not like lyric music where you are having to think about what's happening. Asquale says, he asked about the pasteurization a moment ago. He says, pasteurized to keep for long period over keeping in fridge. I see what you're saying. Okay, so you're saying if you want to put it in the fridge, you're trying to cold crash. Cold crashing is its own separate thing for clarifying / halting that yeast. Now, the cold crashing side, if you want to just generally stop fermentation, cold crashing works. If you cold crash rack, and just do that continually, eventually you'll come down to no yeast in there without having to stabilize anything any other way. The pasteurizing works in the same manner. Now, if you don't pasteurize well, you can actually, and you don't pasteurize in the right way, you can you won't kill the yeast off, and so they'll just kind of fight their way back through if you put anything else in. But if you do it well, it works. They both work. And I think, honestly, I wouldn't pick one over the other. Cold crashing is a little easier in my opinion because you kind of set it and forget it and then rack things. Pasteurizing, you have to put the thought in and do it the right way and make sure this is covered and yada, yada, yada. So pick your poison. Either way, it works. Spike says, I've been mashing distilling for a long time. I'm new to mead and your vids are awesome. It's nice to have a clue before you start something. Your chill dude is nice. Thank you. Well, I'm happy to help. Again, this is a passion of mine, and so I'm just glad to be here. Would THC carry onto a drink? No idea. Literally no idea. I'm so sorry. Cameron, I remember you, Cameron, said, question about a cider. It's cloudy, sour smelling, tastes most, and smell it. Well, hold on. I'm trying to read this. It is cloudy and sour smelling, tasting. Most of my ciders do this. That could be yeasty. You could be getting a yeasty taste, which happens because generally the yeast out of fermentation are still floating around, and so that could be leading to your cloudiness. The sour smell could be a stressed yeast possibly, or it just could be dry. If you're trying to make cider, you could always back sweeten with something like erythritol, which is a non-fermentable sugar, and so it's some way to do that. If you put fermentable sugar in, it's going to bottle carb. I would suggest that you try to back sweeten first and see if that helps get rid of that sour smelling / tasting idea. I'm gonna get to Frank real fast. I gotta run, but thanks for the stream and the amazing content. We love you. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Frank. I really appreciate that. You guys are way too kind, and again, you are the reason I make mead, and I'm just grateful to be here and to be able to be a conduit to share my mead experience and your mead experience with people. So thank you so much, Frank. Tremblay David says, does the essential oil of plants and methylene get transferred, aka psychedelic mead? I have no idea again. Truly wish I could tell you, but I don't know. I would just be guessing. Let's see. Lots of good questions. I love these. These are awesome questions. You guys are killing it. This is fun. I'm enjoying this. This is so great. I guess my Wi-Fi decided to finally work because where's some wood? I gotta knock on wood because I'm gonna jinx myself. But it started to work again, so this is great. Of course, Cameron, I'm happy to help, man. Thank you for asking questions. If you ever have any questions, I will answer as honestly as I can. because I want to be the first to say I don't know everything. In fact, there are a lot of things, as you know, probably 6 of the 12 questions here I haven't known the answer to. I'm just being real with you. I gotta go do research, and that's okay. So that's just trying to be honest. Spike says adding pectic enzyme at the start of fermentation can definitely help a cider clear up for sure, and there are filtering options if you want to go that route, all those things, but that's just, there's also a lot. Just started a gallon of Spearmint last night, already fermenting strong. Love your content. Thank you, Forrest. I appreciate that. That Spearmint I made, the Tyrion's Spearmint, is really good. Now, it ended super sweet, and as I am finding out via some other people I've asked, basically I don't think I should have done the staggered nutrient schedule, and that's something we talked about just a few minutes ago, is that staggered nutrient being a greater way to actually ferment efficiently. So I didn't ferment efficiently. That EC1118 started off really hot. It was like a 1.12 or 1.11, hold on, 1.120 starting gravity. So it was pretty hot in itself, and that can be a shocker to yeast. So I should have staggered, but I didn't. The reason that I know that I should have done the staggered nutrient schedule is because I recently did a interview, which will be out on Monday, with Eric Fowler from White Labs, and he works there. He does a lot of education things, and I had the opportunity to ask him about mead making things and, well, yeast related things in accordance with mead making, and it was a great time. So that podcast will be out Monday, but that one of the big things I drew from that conversation was that the yeast, when you're trying to step feed, you have to make sure that you do not let the yeast completely finish their fermentation, because that's the dip of their cycle. So at the end of their fermentation, they're kind of fizzling out a lot. You don't want them to have to try and build up their army again, because they get more stressed. So that's one thing I learned from that conversation. Oh man, I missed a lot of things. I was talking. Yeah, I like the theme mead videos too. King says, mead is awesome. Thanks for making videos about it. I got into making mead because I couldn't find it anywhere for a while. From there, I got into brewing beer. Best hobby. Yes, I love beer. Brewing is also one of my things. If I had more space to do it, I would do it more often, but I don't quite have the space, unfortunately. Lewis says, love the content. Thanks for your help on previous projects. Logged in from South Africa. Woo! I wonder, Lewis might be, tell me in the chat, don't give me your exact location, but give me like your state or your country or something. I would love to know who is the furthest away right now. I think, Lewis, thanks for tuning in from South Africa, man. That is so cool. That's wild. Super, super wild. I am just, that's crazy. I'll try staggering, yes. Does erythritol have an odd taste like a lot of sweeteners have? Not in my opinion. It's a plant-based sweetener, so it is natural, and it doesn't have like the Splenda taste to me, or the, what's the other one? I can't remember what the other one is, but it doesn't have that fake aspartame-y like sugar to me. What is the sweet spot for you alcohol for? I would say if my final gravity is in the realm of 1.0, like too sweet for me is 1.025 and above. The sweet spot for me, best spot is about 1.010 to 1.020, probably within that range of final gravity, I should say. We got Minnesota, Alabama, New Jersey, DC, South Dakota, South England, ooh, Japan, wow. What time is it in Japan right now? New Jersey, Quebec, Canada, Pretoria, South Africa. Wow, this is crazy. All over the world. I can't believe I'm getting a chat with people all over the world about mead making. Best yeast for a sweeter mead. Looking to start my first. So I would say the best, well, any yeast can yield a sweet mead. You just have to either halt the fermentation or you have to cap out the yeast. And most people don't want to cap out a yeast simply because then you're getting like super boozy things. For example, if you want to cap out the Lalvin D47 that gets up to arguably 14 to 15%, you're going to have to start with a gravity of like 1.130, which is over, I want to say it's over 4 pounds of honey per gallon. Now that's expensive. So my suggestion for a sweet mead would be to start with any yeast. Let's say that Lalvin D47. Maybe you get it up to a starting gravity where you're up to about 10%, and then like once it goes through that, you want to stabilize it, pasteurizing, cold crashing, some other fashion, and then actually take and add more honey. Unless you really want a booze bomb, in which case go for it. If you want the booziest bomb that's ever happened, do it. I mean, there's a time and place for that every single time. So not necessarily a best yeast. My favorite yeasts right now are the Lalvin EC1118, the Lalvin Q823, the D47 is pretty good, and the Premier, what's it called? Red Star Premier Rouge is also one of my favorites. It's kind of lower on the tier list though. Well, let's see, Thomas, hey, hello, all these people. 12:15 p.m. in Japan. Okay, so you're in the middle of your day. That's kind of nice. Ramen. Ooh, ramen sounds real good right now. 3:16. I'm very drunk. Oh man, that's great. Best place to be right now. Saturday night, drinking. I love it. So I started my first Boche, and I have a ton of questions. Steven, I am here to help however I can. Feel free to ask him. If you want to risk bottles blowing, just bottle it while still fermenting and you'll get a sweet and carbonated mead. You can tactfully do that if you bottle it at like 1.005 and then just let it go. You can probably get some carbonation, but it's still iffy. I don't know. I would not risk that. New Mexico started a traditional, David McDonald says, New Mexico started a traditional with bread yeast by request. Interesting. I'm not a big fan of using bread yeast, to be honest, but given the right circumstance, it can yield a good result. Have you tried, Tremblay David says, have you tried wild ferment? And if so, using the same recipe, is there a notable difference in the end product? I haven't done a side-by-side. That would be a fun video though, with the same recipe. I'm actually, you guys can't see it on camera, but right in front of me is a wild fermentation. I took some snow water and threw some blueberries in and threw some honey in, and it is currently fermenting in a wild fashion. So that is working. I haven't done an A/B test though, but it sounds fun. Any yeast will do. Yep. Have you ever used the DV10? I haven't. I have heard lots of things about it. Maybe one day. I don't know. I need to go ahead and buy some. I could probably use it for a yeast shootout of some sort. I think that'd be fun. Let's see. Trying to get back to the chat. It's pretty. Steven, it's pretty dark. Talking about a Boche. No, Boches are meant to be dark. If I could access this cabinet behind me easily, I would show you the Boche I have that was Boche. The honey was Boche'd for 3 hours, and it ended up basically being almost pitch black. It's not a bad thing. That's a Boche. That's just part of the caramelization of the honey. It makes it darker, therefore it's a darker thing, and the honey changes itself. You can use pale ale yeast. Yeah, you definitely can use any ale yeast at all, and you'll end up getting something like, you'll get a sweeter mead with an end result. Let's see. Have you made a methiglen? Says Jason. I haven't made a straight methiglen actually. I have just. No, I don't think I have at any point. I need to make a straight methiglen. That's probably on the list of things to do. Andrew says, I had 2 bottles blow in one night. Cork left a dent in the ceiling. Wow. Mead shot 6 feet into the air and over my wall, cleaned it up, second bottle, blew an hour later. Yeah, that's not fun. That doesn't sound fun. Cameron, DB10 is another yeast. I can't remember what brand it is, but it is another yeast you can buy that is, I think it's an ale yeast, actually. I was told I might like it on another site that's giving you credit for your work. If that's referring to me, I would love to know what site it's talking about, because I'm curious. Let's see what other things we have. Steven says, Boche, I'm planning on adding dark oak chips. Ooh, that sounds good. And a vanilla bean. What's your opinion? Do it. Actually, that same Boche I'm talking about back behind me, it's a Game of Thrones mead. But I realized that I really wanted to add some oak flavoring to it. So I threw in a oak spiral, which is grated for about 3 gallons. It's been sitting for about a week, and it'll go a little while longer. But the tannic value that you get from the oak is going to be really good, and of course the flavors. And then your vanilla bean, definitely. I highly recommend that right there. I would be all about that. I'm going to back this up. There we go. Lewis says it's 5 in the morning, just got into work. Ooh, man, you're early working. That's crazy. I know CBD honey is a thing. I would love to try the, maybe one day, I don't know. That just seems, it just doesn't seem that interesting to me, to be honest, but it could be a interesting test in general. Man, you guys can't see him. My dog's over here. I have a dog now. It's a Labradoodle. He's about 3 months old, and it's like, it's having like a toddler, because he just runs around and can't control his body. But right now he's looking real wild. I'll put it that way. I'm also drinking. I have 2 glasses tonight because I figured this would be a decently long stream. This was the spicy tepache from Doing the Most. He made a tepache video that's a tepache mead, and you can go check that out. It's pretty interesting, but it had I think a Carolina Reaper in it. It's really good. It's got that heat on the throat. It's super good. Flip back over to here. There we go. Was I going to play another video? I can't remember if I was. I don't think I was. Anyways, I'm glad this camera's working though. It seems like it's working at least. So, now, with the dog pics in the Discord, speaking of the Discord, thank you for reminding me. I can't throw it up. I can maybe throw one up on stream right here if I get a second. But there's a Discord. If you would like to, ready for this? We're going back to fancy land. Can I play it again? Boom! Social media links. If you would like to support the channel, or just be part of a community, check out these links. The Instagram is, of course, my page, so it's just where I post pictures and things. Discord is what I'm about to post. I think it's called the Man-Made Meters, and it is, again, another venue at which you can chat with people about mead making. I'm trying to get to the link, but the invite people, there we go. My computer is having quite the day. There we go, no limit. I think that worked. Okay, so I'm gonna throw this into the chat. If you would like to join, Part-Time Bus says, what's a ghost pepper? Yes, so that's the Discord link. If you'd like to join us over here, we get to chat about mead making, and it's a great place to be. So I'm super grateful for that group. Is that the right one? Yeah. I think I might have just, there we go. Anyways, check out that Discord link. And I will try and pull up, if I can get one right here, one of these dog photos, because why not? He is Quite the dog. Oh, I do, not to steal. If you guys are a big fan of Doing the Most, you might know one of his segments. He likes to do this thing called Meme of the Week, and I don't want to steal it, but I want to do this real fast. So let me put this over here. I lost that photo now. There it is. Okay, ready for this? This is a funny meme I saw as on one of the pages. I can't remember which one, but it was a Facebook page of some sort. It is, boom. This one got me pretty good. So this is the I don't know which page it was, sorry, but talking about our view on yeast, which there's two sides of the coin. There's a side of the coin where you go like, well, you know, yeast truly are not that finicky, but I just thought this was funny. The idea that yeast back in the Viking days were more powerful than yeast today. So this is one of my things. Part-time bus are using your green screen behind. I am using OBS and green screen. Oh no, it's going down. I think, hold on, I gotta get out of some things. It was working really well, and now it's blowing up. Okay, sorry y'all. I'm watching as my computer is exploding. Unfortunately, it seems like my stream's going down. I didn't expect my stream to explode after just pulling up a photo. Anyways, I'm sure you guys can still hear me. That's okay. Someone asked a question. I don't know if someone did. I think the Vikings raided because they were looking for yeast. I mean, no doubt. There's like, it's just, that whole meme was pretty funny to me, ultimately. All right, come on, computer. Get back to being good. Let me do this. Let me take... get rid of me for a second. Let's see if that will... You guys can... You won't be able to see me for a second, but maybe that'll fix my stream data. It'll come back. Now you just get this guy chilling for a moment. All fine, if very choppy. It is choppy, and I'm hoping that this will fix itself. If I let my yeast get to the alcohol level that is on the package, will it still be able to explode? Possibly. If you were to step feed it, like I said earlier, then likelihood you would end up possibly having a bottle bomb is what we call that. But you shouldn't. I would not bottle too early. That's the thing. I would just make sure if you add any honey in the secondary or after that primary fermentation before you want to bottle, that you let it set for a couple days to just ensure and to see that there is no re-fermentation. Met und Honigwein. I butchered that, but he says, hey from Germany. Welcome. I'm super glad you're here. I'm hoping that this will get back to normal. I broke it because I tried to pull up a dog photo, and that was not good. So I might, if I do it, I have to pull it from somewhere else. So, anyways, I probably will not be able to pull the dog photo up. If you would like to see the dog photo, go join the Discord. I'm not going to do it now because, like I said, my stream is not doing great. We got 40 people on here. Welcome, everybody. Super glad you're here. What an exciting night. Saturday night, or wherever you're at. You might be in the middle of the day now. Germany is probably rocking Sunday morning at this point. Is there a deterrent? Let's see. Is there a deterrent deterrent to making 1 gallon batch in a 5 gallon bucket. No. Only if you're letting it ferment during the primary, then what you're gonna find is that there's no issue. The fermentation will go, there will be a CO2 blanket that covers the top of the mead, and that will generally mean that there's no oxidization. But if you were to age in the plastic bucket, you're gonna deal with plastic fermentation taste or plastic taste within the mead over time, and oxygenation. It's not as heavy in mead because for some reason, I can't remember the science behind it, but mead generally has a less of an issue when it comes to that. But there's still a risk of it over time. So yeah. Trying to get back to it. Unfortunately, yeast don't read very well. They don't know what we like and think we're supposed to do. Yeah, that's true. You can definitely, well, to an effect. You got to realize too, these yeast, yes, they can't read, but they have also been engineered to do a thing. So if you think about, like, I mean, it's just like anything else. A specific animal is born to do something. A bear is going to act like a bear. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that bear is not cognizant of what it's doing, but it is still acting in the same manner. Same thing for yeast. They have been over time cultured to do specific things, and scientists have gone and tested things in labs and found out that this one likes to stop at 14%. Does it always work? I mean, is there a slim chance 1% or 1% above or below? Yeah, but yeah, yeast can't read, but they still act like how they're supposed to. So I think I agree, but I don't agree. You kind of have to find the balance between the two and say, you know, yes and no. Do you distill? No, I don't distill. I prefer not to run into the issue. I would not like to, you know, get in trouble. Traditional mead in a bucket, then you can rack it into 1 gallon. Yep. Do you have any Tupelo? Have you used any Tupelo honey before? I have. One of my meads early on was a Tupelo mead, and it was pretty good. I wish I had more of the honey because I would have back sweetened with it. I actually have another Tupelo mead back behind me going currently, and it needs some more age. It's pretty young. So I would not, well, I would love to use more Tupelo honey. It's expensive though. That's part of the problem. It's hard to get a hold of in massive quantities. That's just kind of my issue with it. I really like it. The honey I have is super good, but expensive. Got some recipes in there. Local honey is very good for you. It's very good for the economy too, if you want to help your local economy and support your beekeepers, because at the end of the day, those people need to be supported as well. It's great to buy. I mean, I'm saying this as a person who buys bulk honey from big places. Like, I just bought bulk honey from Dutch Gold, which is a website, and I don't exactly know where they get their honey, but I know it's nice honey. So I could probably do better about supporting my local, not meadery, because I don't really have one around here, but my local beekeeper. My problem is that it's expensive. The 60 pounds of honey that I want to buy from my local beekeeper is pretty expensive. Although I did find a cheaper alternative from a guy recently. So it's still expensive. It's not a cheap hobby. That is for sure. Average Joe. What is Tupelo honey? Tupelo honey is a kind of honey. It is, I need someone to do some better research than me because I'm gonna make this up. But Tupelo honey should be, or is, let's find out. Let's do a little mead research real fast so I don't make myself. Tupelo honey is a Van Morrison song. That's also fun. Origin. Let's find the Tupelo honey origin. Tupelo honey is produced from the Tupelo gum tree, which grows profusely along Chipola and Apalachicola. I'm just gonna take a picture of this because I can. Here we go. Ready for this? Boom. So fancy. There's your answer. What is Tupelo honey? Uh-oh. I lost it. I had it. I was fancy. Hello? Where'd you go? Legit think I lost the screenshot. No, that's me. Oh, goodness. This is what happens when I try to do fun things. It doesn't work. Tupelo honey is a very expensive honey that is pretty nice. It is costly, though. I'm trying to pull this up again. Recent. There it is. Here we go. That is Tupelo honey. Tupelo honey is grows profusely, Appalachia or whatever. Here in the river swamps, this honey is produced in a unique fashion. So that's your answer. Tupelo honey is expensive. Obviously, it is decently rare, so you kind of have to spend the money to get it if you like it. Look at that advanced stream moment. Holy cow. What a world. At what sort of money? Well, let's do some more research. I wonder who, okay, take your guess. I'm gonna go off of the first one I find. How much do you think, we're gonna go big. How much do you think 60 pounds of Tupelo honey is? Put it in the chat. How much do you think 60 pounds of Tupelo honey? I'm gonna find, don't Google it, that's cheating. Let me be the one to Google it. You have to guess. Ooh. I'm gonna take another screenshot. Remember, don't cheat. That's not cool. This is from the first one I found. Okay, y'all ready? I'm gonna throw it up here in a second. How much do you think 60 pounds of Tupelo honey is? I'll tell you, it is not cheap. That is for sure. I think I lost this screenshot though. How does this happen? I just took that screenshot. Oh, there it is. You ready for this? Boom. Oh, that's huge. Hold on. Make it smaller. Look at that. Tupelo honey, 5-gallon plastic bucket from whoever this is. Something honey. $485 for this honey. Now, it is very nice, but it is very expensive. And if you have the capability of spending that much on honey, then you're good. You're good in life. Let's just be real. That's expensive. Yeah, and that's not even the shipping. You still have to get it shipped to you. So if you are, and shipping 60 pounds of honey, because of experience, is like, for me at least, 80 bucks. That's expensive. I don't have that kind of money. So I will probably not be making a massive Tupelo mead anytime soon. I would love to. That would sound it sounds fun. It would be really cool to do it, but maybe one day when I'm a millionaire from somehow being a teacher. That's going to be great. Likelihood. Yeah. So Tupelo is really nice though. There are some other really cool kinds of honey. One of my other favorites is Meadowfoam, and I don't know how many of you have had experience with Meadowfoam honey, but it itself is very interesting. In fact, I'm going to pull some up. Meadowfoam. So Meadowfoam honey has its own, it's like cotton candy, like I don't want to say fake sugar. It's that like really bright, kind of weird sugary taste. It's a little bit cheaper though. You can get, I mean, this is still expensive, no doubt, but this is, if you want to spend the money and get a big bulk batch of Meadowfoam, this right here, I'll take a picture. This is from a company, and I want to recommend these people because I definitely, I've used them many times and I enjoy them a lot. This is from Glory Bee. They make very high quality honey. Oops, huge again. No! Are you kidding me? That was working. They make nice high quality honey that's raw, unfiltered, and it's at a decent price for the quality. So it is still expensive. Let's be real, guys. We are in this crazy expensive hobby of making mead. So look at this guy. This is a Meadowfoam Blossom Honey. It is $286 for 40 pounds. Still very expensive. That is, someone math, like $6.50 at least. It's almost $7, or seven, yeah, over $7 for a pound. But very good. So if you want to spend that money, boom. But again, David says, split it into 4 payments of $121. Oh, absolutely. There we go. That's how you do it. You definitely have to have your recipes down if you're going to spend that much money on it. What discipline are you teaching? I teach music. That is my gig. So I get to teach kids how to play and do all the fun things. It's a lot of fun. Scott says, hey everyone, welcome Scott. Steven says, hey, so I'm concerned about the high starting gravity in my Boche. I've been step feeding yeast energizer every other day for 3 feeds, but should I stick? No, do not stick pure DAP in at this point. DAP, unless you haven't crossed the 2/3 sugar break. DAP can be volatile to yeast if you put it in too late, because it's like, it's not acidic, but it can hurt and damage the cell walls of the yeast if you put it in too late. So I would put, if you can, Fermade O, or if you don't have that, if you can't have access to it, try adding some boiled baker's yeast, which is autolyzed yeast, basically dead yeast, and that will allow those yeast to ferment on their brethren, which will actually help them ferment. So that's what I would do. Do not add DAP currently. That's my opinion. Part-time Bus says, I would love to try Meadowfoam. I used to see it when I lived in Oregon. I have some. The only experience I have with it is I spent, still is a decent amount of money, for about two? How many did I buy? Anyways, these little 12-ounce jars, and I made a half-gallon mead. That video will be out soon, but it's still expensive. So, was going to the kosher section of my grocery store, found some honey called rapeseed. Ooh, I don't like that. I don't know what that is at all. Honey is so regional. You're maybe 4 miles. So, yeah. You're probably not, Joe, you're probably not going to get that Glory Bee honey. Sorry about you. Scott's drinking a Shiner. What's everyone else drinking? The 5-gallon bucket of sage honey from my local apiary cost me $500. Yeah, it's expensive. Oof. Steven says, I don't have it, but I do have the Carlton Yeast Energizer. That'll work-ish. It's not necessarily a great nutrient source, so I would go buy some bread yeast from your grocery store, and then boil some of it to kind of kill them, basically, and then add that in if you want. Or hop on and buy some Fermade O, if you can. That will help the yeast, ultimately. But you will have a healthy fermentation too. Don't worry too much about it. I think you've been step feeding them well enough that they'll be fine. Just let them go. And if you start noticing an odd smell or something, then you might go, oh, wait. But I think you'll be fine. Have you ever considered starting brewing commercially? I have, and I have ran immediately into the issues that there are lots of hoops to jump through in order to be a commercial person. And they're hoops that I'm not quite ready to jump yet. So in the future, yes. Currently, no. I'm still waiting. One day. Not today. Sage honey. See, I've never had it. Sounds good. Canola. Interesting. When racking baleful blue, that's a tongue twister. When racking out of a 5-gallon bucket, what do you rack into for secondary? Individual 1-gallon carboys. If I have a 5-gallon carboy, which I do, excuse me. Oh, sorry. Sorry about that there. If you have a 5-gallon carboy, I'd recommend to use the said 5-gallon carboy for fermenting or for aging. If you don't, you can use 1-gallon carboys. You can also use, just don't use plastic. Avoid plastic at all costs and avoid lots of headspace. Use some yeast holes. Yeah, that's basically what we're talking about there. I think my beer cellar has Fermade. There you go. Fermade K. That'll work. You just need something that has autolyzed yeast/yeast holes. You might find something that has diammonium phosphate mixed in, but if it's mixed in with other things, it's more okay. If it's straight diammonium phosphate, then you're going to run more into problems. Some people are going to yell at me and say, but that's just my opinion. Rona cough. That is not the Rona cough. That is the inhaling of mead fumes or something in this room. So sorry, y'all. I was not trying to cough your ear off. Now, I'll tell you, I got about 10 minutes left, and I got to shut this down because I got some other things I need to do. But yes, Spike says Fermade K has DAP. Fermade O has organic nitrogen. That's the difference. So Fermade K, like I said, has that DAP, and it's, well, I'm thinking of specifically only putting DAP into a mead, and you're going to run into issues with that because that is like, it's more aggressive. But mixed in, it's a little less. If I boil yeast in water, how much water do I want to use per packet? You can follow, I don't want to go down that. So there's this thing called the Tasmania Protocol. There's Tasmania 3.0, and it's a very valuable tool. And it's the way you rehydrate your yeast, how much water, how much Fermade O to put into it in that initial whatever, all those things. It's very specific. To be honest, I don't get too crazy with how much water I use to rehydrate in. I keep mine pretty general. I just throw a random amount of water in, and I've had great results. So one day I'll go crazy and do the Tasmania Protocol 452 and do that stuff. But I currently am not. I don't do it every single time. Again, someone in the comments is going to freak out and yell at me and say, you're doing it wrong. I'm sorry, but that's what I do. David says, so feeding only ammonium phosphate would stress the mead. Maybe. I don't know. Again, question I can't answer. Sorry. Andrew says, boil yeast in water. Yes, this is cannibalistic on yeast territory, but you are literally killing the yeast because yeast are cannibals in their own right and will eat one another, and they use that as nutrients sometimes. So, fun fact. MK says, have you ever used mesquite honey? Yes, I love mesquite honey. I had a big 60-pound pail of it for a long time. I used it all. It's got this like really smoky note. It reminds me a lot of whiskey. Super good. Highly recommend to try it if you haven't tried it before. I would get some. What's your personal favorite honey, and what do you recommend for a traditional mead? First part of that, my favorite honey, mesquite or alfalfa blossom. Orange blossom is also up there. Those are kind of my main three, but probably between mesquite and alfalfa. So is this working? Is this popping for some reason? Now, let's see. The other question, sorry. What do you recommend for a traditional mead? That depends on what you're going for. Do you want a more smoky note? Do you want a fruity note? Whatever you want. It just depends on your end goal. I can't tell you a specific one to say is the best for a traditional mead because that comes down to personal preference and what you're looking for within said mead. Let's see. Sorry, I'm trying to go back. My goal this year is to make award-winning mead on a cheap budget. There you go. That's a good goal. Is there a specific kind of mead that comes to mind you will never do again? Yes. I made a Spearmint Tea Mead. Now, granted, I did something wrong, and ultimately the spearmint was way too strong, but I will not be recreating a spearmint mead. It was not great. It was spearmint tea, I should say. That was what I did. My go-to is orange blossom. Absolutely, I think it's great. You can use it for a lot of things. It's very utilitarian. Like a cup of water. DAP is hard on, yes, Spike says, my understanding is DAP is hard on yeast cell walls when they are forming. Correct. It is, I mean, that's it. It is a little bit tougher to use. So DAP's not bad. It's not the best. It's the cheapest yeast nutrient. It's not the best. Fermade O, Fermade K, even though DAP is in Fermade K, you know, you want organic if you can. But if you don't have organic, DAP will work. Mint yeast instead of mead. Yeast diet 140 for 10 minutes, but to be safe, 160. Yeah, that's good. Still concerned about your background. Funny though. What about my background? Is this guy? Are you concerned about his? This guy's he's been waiting a long time for this drink, so I feel bad for him. Yeah. It's not COVID cough. I just got something in my throat. You can tell by my voice is getting deeper as I talk more. After break, being a teacher, I had 2 weeks off, and I went back. And when you don't talk a lot for 2 weeks, your voice kind of gets untrained to that. And so that first day back was, by the end of it, I sounded like a frog. So that was exciting part of my experience. All right, I got about 4 or 5 minutes, and then I really got to shut this down because I got to put everything up and do all the stuff. But I have really enjoyed this. I do want to plug this right here. Get back to it. Ready for this? Maybe. And boom, here we go. Check out the social media stuff. The one I really want to highlight, I don't really care so much about the Instagram. That's fine. I don't really care so much about the, well, I do care about the Facebook side. My personal Facebook page, the Man-Made Mead page, don't really care about. The Man-Made Mead Makers, that is a group on Facebook. If you want to join us and talk about mead making, it's a very exciting adventure. I learn something every day from them, and I have no doubt that you might learn something too. It's a lot of fun. And then the other one, here, it's hard to point to. Oh man, this is the Man-Made Meters over on the Discord. Check that out. I will try and post the Discord link again real fast, but Discord is a great place to chat with other mead makers, and it's a lot of fun. So I hope you will join me in one of those avenues. So that is my plug right there. Whoa. Okay, MK says, glad I came across your channel. Keep up the great content and hope to see your channel blow up in views one day. Thank you so much. That is way too kind. You guys are so kind. I truly, and I've said it many times, but I mean it from the bottom of my heart. You guys are the reason that I enjoy making mead. And, you know, at the end of the day, I have a passion for it and I love to do it. And I want to say, well, I'll put it this way. If I was making mead and I knew that it wasn't helping somebody, it wouldn't be as fun. I just would not be as enjoyed. So I love getting to help and answer questions and just do all the things that are just hopefully helping you guys understand more about mead making. And I'm learning too. I want to point that out. I'm very human. I make a lot of mistakes, and I'm going to continue to make mistakes. And that's something that we just have to all remember is we're going to make mistakes and do things. So I hope you learn from mine, and I would love to help you in however I can. Thank you so much. MK, thank you so much. That is so kind of you. I can't believe, I'm just blessed. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for tuning in. The last question, he just snuck it right in. What's a mead you want to try to make? What is the mead I want to try and make? I've made a lot of meads at this point. I haven't made them all, that's for sure. I want to perfect a capsicum recipe, a hot pepper mead recipe. Now, that's a general answer, but I'm going to encompass everything into that and say, I don't have a specific recipe, but I want to master that. That's kind of my goal. So, Jason, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Okay, you guys, I am so thankful to have you here. Thank you if you were here during the first 20 minutes of the previous stream that blew up and it was terrible. Thanks for your patience. I'm just glad to have you guys here. I plan on doing these more, and my hope is that I'll be able to plan them like I did this one just a little bit. So if you are able to join, you know, I know everyone's around the world, but thank you again. This has been a blast. I will see you guys in the future. I have another video coming out Monday. I have a video coming out Thursday. There's the second channel if you want to follow my mead reviews and things. That's called Man-Made Mead Extras on YouTube. There's the Discord. There's all those things. Anyways, I'm done with the plugs. I hope you have a great night. I'll see you guys next time. Cheers.